so excited to share my lessons, my top lessons from the last 48 years of my life, and talk about what I intend to invest in number 49. My mentor, Jim Rohn, used to say that very often. He said, imagine investing the last 69 years of your life into your 70th. That's what he used to ask his father. So today is IndustryCast. So every Wednesday we go live at 11:30 to talk about personal development, to talk about industry changes, to talk about manufacturing, talk about career development for the engineers that we work with on a regular basis, and anyone who wants to tune in and hear what we've got to talk about. So today, again, this is going to be a quick one, but I want to run through these top lessons that I'm going to invest into number 49. So hopefully this is helpful for you. The foundation of a life well lived is our relationships, period. End of story. And I know that sounds like, well, of course, but in our pursuit of more, in our pursuit of the ideal, we often lose sight of the fact that it's really, it comes down to our relationships. And nothing matters more in our lives than our family, our friends, the people that surround us every single day. The people that they don't care what we have, and that's what we're doing every day is we're pursuing more and pursuing achievement, sometimes for the sake of achievement. And we sacrifice our relationships in the process and in the pursuit. So I just want to encourage you. I have learned this lesson the hard way on really, really pouring into the relationships and the people that matter most in your life. I shared a story when we talked about the 7 habits of highly effective people, kind of an epiphany that I had when I was doing the eulogy exercise in the 7 habits of highly effective people. I realized that I was not showing up in the way that I wanted to be remembered. So remember, that exercise is you actually write your eulogy and you say, what would my friends say about me? What would my family members say about me? What would my coworkers say about me? And in doing that exercise, it really brought to the forefront the importance and the emphasis on building relationships, being the type of friend that I wanted friends to be with me, being the type of son that my mom desired me to be, or the son that my dad desired me to be. So that was a real revelation for me personally, and I've continued to try to build on that throughout my life. But I always fall short, right? I mean, I always say that we are broken. I'm a hot mess. I get on here, I talk about these things, but I'm a hot mess. We are all a hot mess. Someone might show up on your screen, the videos, all this live content that we're sharing today, and you think, oh my gosh, they've got it together. No, they don't. The reality is they are a hot mess. But if they are surrounded by people that they care about and that care about them, none of that matters. It doesn't matter what kind of a hot mess we are, as long as we surround ourselves with people that improve our lives, that we can stand on their shoulders, and then we in turn allow them to stand on ours. So critical, man. I cannot emphasize how important those lessons or those relationships are in life. And so I want to encourage you to cultivate them. Don't attempt to rationalize with irrational people. Wow, this is the lesson from 2020, and I will carry it with me forever. There is so much irrationality going on. I think people have forgot to think. They've forgotten to pursue the truth and reality. They spin things and make things up and make things 10 times worse than they have to be. I have a young man that I mentor and work with, and we text back and forth sometimes. And he was texting me this morning, and we were going back and forth. And he said. He mentioned something about how I was doing. I said, well, you need to, he said, I need more confidence. And that his challenge isn't confidence. His challenge is maturity. And I got to thinking about that. And that's really a challenge that many of us face. It's not that we need more confidence. It's that we need more maturity. We need to show up as mature adults with some level of experience. and be rational in considering and thinking about things that are happening in our lives and in the world. So that is, again, a 2020 revelation is it is impossible to rationalize with irrational people. So don't try it. Don't even attempt it. Just save yourself the misery of trying that. So when you experience an irrational person, just move on, because you ain't gonna fix them. And also, if everyone in your life is irrational, let's go back to that one. If everyone in your life is irrational, then that means you're irrational. So you got to look in the mirror on that one as well. Okay, so learn to cut your losses and go. My man, Mike Montgomery, taught me this. He was the first person that I ever knew that bought and sold stocks. And he was in and out of stocks. And I remember when Yahoo came out, and he was all tracking it and wanted to be a part of the Yahoo IPO. And of course, I didn't know what IPO was. I thought Yahoo was a chocolate drink that you drank. But what Mike taught me is the importance of when you're losing and you're going to lose, then you need to just cut your losses and go. What we tend to do, especially in financial, in relationships, we double down, or we fear the middle. We pray that something's going to come back. We pray that a relationship's going to get better. We pray that our working conditions are going to get better, that our boss is going to get better, that something is going to change that is going to all of a sudden improve our current situation. Again, whether it be financial, whether it be with our work, whether it be with our relationships. But there could be a time, and we need to recognize and realize that time when we need to cut our losses and move on. That is really tough. I've got some friends and business partners. This is a real struggle to cut the losses and move on when it would save so much misery. So it's important that we recognize that and learn that. And that's, again, one of those lessons that I will take with me into the future. People don't change people, and people rarely change themselves. Now, this has become apparent for me as a parent of twin 14-year-old daughters, and also have a beautiful 11-year-old daughter, and love my children dearly. And I want them to be a certain way. I want them to show up a certain way. And so I want to change them. I want to help form who they are and what they're doing. The reality that I've come to, my realization has been that I'm not going to change them. I can't change them. I can change myself and try to be an example of how I want them to show up in the world, but I can't do that for them. I can't make them change. And I can encourage them again, and try to be the example for them. But so often in our relationships, we try to get people to change. We try to will our way onto others, and that isn't going to happen. It's futile. So I'm not trying to be pessimistic here. I'm just trying to be realistic in that it is important that we show up in the best possible way that we can. That's what we have to ask ourselves. Am I showing up as the best version of myself? So, and then people rarely change themselves. So we all know what we should do. If we smoke, we know we need to quit. If we drink too much, we know we need to quit. If we do any number of things, we know we need to. If we don't exercise, if we eat bad food, if we don't get enough sleep, there are any number of things that we do that we know we should change, but rarely do we take the time or have the discipline to make that change. So anyway, that's the epiphany. Anything is possible, so don't kid yourself. 2020, right? Or this virus that came out of seemingly nowhere. I guess Bill Gates, he's the only one that thought of it, thought far enough into the future to foreshadow what was going to be the coronavirus. But anything is possible. That's just the reality. You think, oh my gosh, this cannot get worse. And it gets worse. And then you say, this can't get worse. And it gets worse. So there's a book, and it's about a guy by the name of Louis Zamperini. And it's Unbroken is the name of the book. Laura Hillenbrand wrote the book. Fascinating book. It's just amazing what this guy endures, what he goes through and lives. But this is back in World War II, and just a a book that is humbling, but when you think it can't get worse, just when his life can't get worse, it gets worse. And then just when you think it can't get worse, it gets worse. And that was the majority of his life. But he turned it around and he made an incredible impact on many, many people as a result of that. So anyway, my point is when you don't kid yourself, it can get worse. Now, I want to take a little intermission here to talk about CapEx and what we do. Our focus is on building relationships that work. We are manufacturers representatives in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. So we have ATC Automation out of Cookeville, Tennessee. 85% of their business is with repeat customers. That says a lot in the automation industry. There are a lot of one and dones out there. Cincinnati Test Systems, the largest leak test company in the world. I can't believe it. I started working with them when I was a wet behind the ears engineer at Cummins Engine Company back in 1994. I can't believe I've been working with them that long. Wonderful company, full of wonderful people, and ready to help you with your leak test needs. Duquesne Plastic Joining, they are a global and diverse plastic joining company. Ultrasonic plate or ultrasonic welding, hot plate welding, laser welding, you name it, plastic welding, they do it. And then Symmetric is a division of Cincinnati Test Systems, but I break them out differently because they're focused on high speed in process test and data management. And then Keller Technologies right here in Fort Mill, South Carolina, they do industrial filtration, wet and dry filtration. All right, back to the top 10 lessons. Number 6, I made up and continue to make up my story. Now, I don't know why. My wife, she hates this because I say it all the time. Because when we get frustrated, when we get aggravated, when we are upset with ourselves, when we're upset with our position of where we are in life, the reason that we are upset is because we've told ourselves a story about where we should be. So what we need to do instead of being upset, mad, and aggravated is just rewrite the story. To recalibrate is what I often say. So if something isn't going the way you want, if you get angry about a scenario or situation, the situation is what it is. So it didn't work out the way that we wanted it to work out, and that's why we get angry. So what we have to do is we had expectations that were inconsistent with reality. And so when things happen in life that are inconsistent with the reality that we've made up in our head, we get mad, we get angry, and that's totally understandable. But you are making that choice. We have our feelings, we have our emotions, and those get stoked as a result of our story not being what we desire it to be. So we make the story up. We tell ourselves the story every single day, what our life should be like, what our relationship with our spouse should be, what our relationship with our kids should be, how our kids should be, how our neighbors should respond, how people should treat us, how our boss should interact with us, what our business should do. We make up these stories and it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. So if we can get ourselves back to understanding that reality is reality, the truth is the truth, we can accept it for what it is and then move to make change and take action accordingly. Not with anger and frustration, but with an eye on that better future. So that's what I'm going to encourage you to do. That's why I like that one. Okay, success not shared is meaningless. Success not shared is meaningless. So we can have it all, right? So this goes back to number 1 with our relationships. We can have it all. But if we aren't sharing all that we have, then it's misery. Life is miserable for people that are successful and do not share that success with others. Now, I'm not saying necessarily give away all of your money or give away anything at all. But what I'm suggesting is that if you are successful, then you are not, it wasn't all about you. Our success cannot come without the contribution of other people. And oftentimes, I know early on in my career, Laura Wojcik, she busted my chops. And I know I've told this story before, but I was at Cincinnati Test Systems. I was maybe 3 years into my career. There was a recession going on. This would have been about 1999, 2000, 2001. Yeah, right around in there, whenever the bubble burst. There were 13 machines on the floor at Cincinnati Test Systems. I had sold 11 of them. And as you can imagine, the egotistical young sales guy, I was the man. Everyone You look at me. You see those machines? I sold those machines. I sold that. I did that. I mean, that's how I showed up. And Laura, she said, I think you're an asshole. And that I thankfully I had the self-awareness to realize, just snap me out of my ignorance. Like, oh my gosh, yes, I am. I am being an asshole right now, because the only reason that I had an opportunity to sell those machines was because of the people at Cincinnati Test Systems, the people that built them, the people that quoted them, the people that founded the business and started the business. So that was a real revelation for me, and something I've never forgotten and always tried to demonstrate and share appreciation, because nothing happens. We can will things to happen, but it takes people to make those things we will to happen. So success not shared is meaningless. Number 8, only value delivered is rewarded. I love this. This is what every kid should know. We should be teaching this in school above and beyond anything else. Value is rewarded. Value is rewarded. Value is rewarded. Because if we aren't delivering value, the market will not reward us. But instead, we get these people showing up at work. Then they want to get paid just because they showed up. No, no, no. You don't get paid because you show up. You get paid because of the value that you bring to your work. So you want more money? We all want more money, right? That's what we hear. I got to get paid more. Give me a raise, give me a raise, give me a raise. Well, yes, absolutely. You deserve a raise when you bring more value to your work every single time. It is a law. But yet people want to break the law. They want to get rewarded just for showing up. Hey, I came to work 5 days in a row on time. Give me a raise. No, no, no. That's not how it works. If you deliver value, then you get paid. So that's what we all need to be doing. If we have our kids, if we have them fundamentally understand that the market only rewards value. Now, value can be in the form of money, but it doesn't have to be in the form of money. It can be in the form of accolades or demonstration of appreciation. It could be in the form of gratitude. So those can be the other values that are being delivered to us because we shared our value with the market. So the idea is to constantly be growing our value. There is no limit. There is no limit to the capacity of the value that we can deliver to this world. And that's really what it's about. So the more value we deliver, the more the market is going to reward us. And then when the market rewards us, it's important that we share that success with others in our lives. Okay, moving on here. Number 9. So I only control 4 things: my attitude, my effort, my input, and my response. Okay, let's say it again. This is it. These are the 4 things. If you are paralyzed, unable to speak, you still can control these 4 things. These are the only 4 things that we truly have control over. We think we have control over our muscles, but sometimes we don't, because of maybe a condition that we have, maybe something that happens to us. Maybe we have an injury that causes us to lose the ability to move and control our limbs. So, but we can control our attitude at all times. It can be positive, it can be negative, whatever it is, we own it. It's ours. Nobody else owns our attitude. We control our effort, right? So how hard we're going to work, how we're going to apply ourselves, what we're going to do, what we're going to focus on. That is our effort. That is up to us. We own that. Our input. Don't put crap in your head. Stop watching these videos that are absolutely destructive and destroying what your dreams, right? So it's that negativity that can really crush our dreams. We want to get around positive people. We want to be in a group of people or a society, ideally, that is positive, not Pollyanna, but is positive. To look at, what are the lessons learned of this disaster that we've just experienced? Okay, let's take those lessons learned and let's take those into the future. Let's not take the blame and the aggravation and the negativity into the future. Let's only take the good stuff into the future. And that's how we build a better world as a result. So control your inputs, turn off the stinking news, turn off all this social media, TikTok. I mean, where's the value in TikTok, for goodness sake? So they really, going to help you live a better life? Probably not. Okay. And then my response. So our response, we control our response to whatever conditions, whatever situations. Someone punches us in the mouth, we can control our response. But it is the most difficult and challenging thing for all of us to do, is learn to control those responses. All right, number 10, drum roll. It is gratitude and appreciation are the antidotes to depression. Now, I have my father to thank for this lesson. He has suffered a lot of his life with depression, and has, at times been heavily medicated, not on medication, kind of back and forth, and really struggled with depression for decades. But when he started making these pin holders, he started making pin holders for veterans, and he's given away, gosh, must be in the magnitude of 14,000, 16,000. He's in the many thousands at this point that he's given away. He finds veterans and he gives them a pin holder to demonstrate his appreciation for them. And so he makes them, he goes out, gets the wood, brings it back, cuts it up, conditions it, sands it, lacquers it, puts the holes in it, does all of it. And that effort, that focus on not himself, when we can get out of focusing on ourselves, that is the biggest problem that we have in this world today, is that we are obsessed with ourselves. What about me? What about me? What about me? That is creation. That creates anxiety. It creates depression. It's because that story that we continue to ruminate on and tell ourselves over and over and over again that isn't really going to happen, causes us to be so obsessed and focused with ourselves that we lose sight of those relationships that really matter in our lives. We focus on our story, and we've got to give up that story. But anyway, let's get back to demonstrating gratitude and appreciation. Thank you letters. Send a thank you letter. Write it out. This is a birthday card that one of my buddies got me, right? Happy 95th birthday. I don't think I'm 95 yet, but anyway, he's quite a character. So demonstrate appreciation and gratitude. That's what I try to do every day here, every Wednesday when I have an opportunity to share with you. I am grateful for all of our customers. I'm grateful for all my friends. Mom, I'm grateful for you. Brenda, grateful for you. Love you, my kids. When we demonstrate gratitude, it is the foundation of a life well lived, meaningful, fulfilling life as a result of demonstrating our gratitude and appreciation every single day. And when you get a chance, hug your dog, for goodness sakes. Come here, Boom. So we got Boomer making a cameo appearance here today. So, all right, as you were. Demonstrate appreciation. That's it for today. All right, so on the 16th, I want to remind you that we've got another Fundamentals of Leak Test course coming up. We had 2 hours last week, and it was very successful. Wonderful time with Gordon. He does just an amazing job of sharing how to do leak testing. So encourage you to sign up for that. You can go to our website, or actually, if you want the email, just email me, Russ at CapExSales.com or Vicky at CapExSales.com, and we'll be sure to send you an invite. Or if you are not on our email list, so we send an email out every Wednesday. We call it the Wednesday Reboot. It's a personal development email where we share some of that personal development type of information that we're talking about right now. We also talk about manufacturing. But anyway, you can go there and you can sign up to be on our email list, and you will receive that email with the invite link to that upcoming webinar. So again, we appreciate you. We appreciate everything that you do. If we can serve you in any way with automation, leak test equipment, ultrasonic hot plate welding, air filtration, data management, contact Matt Matheny. There's his email address. He's on covering Western North Carolina and South Carolina. Chris Mullins, the Chris Mullins. Anyone that knows that guy loves that guy. He is in Eastern North Carolina and Virginia. And then again, my name is Russ. Grateful to have the opportunity to serve you every day. Until next Wednesday, have an amazing day, an amazing week. And again, appreciate you, and always appreciate your feedback.